The current war didn't erupt overnight, it's the result of years of secret conflict. Iran and Israel fought a shadow war with spies and covert attacks, but that changed after a high-profile assassination of an Iranian nuclear scientist, blamed on Israel. Iran vowed revenge, promising Israel would pay a heavy price. This threat brought the conflict into the open. Iran launched missiles at Israel, signaling a new, dangerous phase. Israel's Iron Dome intercepted most, but some missiles got through, rattling civilians. Israel retaliated, striking military bases inside Iran, a major escalation. The cycle of attack and counterattack began, each round more destructive. Targets expanded from military sites to critical infrastructure, impacting ordinary people. The conflict quickly grew, with each side feeling compelled to respond harder. Hopes for a quick resolution faded as both countries prepared for a drawn-out war. Now, the fourth wave of attacks is underway, the most intense yet. Iran is using more advanced missiles, aiming to overwhelm Israeli defenses. The goal: inflict maximum damage and show resolve. Neither side is backing down. Both are escalating. The risk of a wider war, one that could engulf the Middle East, is now dangerously real. The world watches, anxious for a ceasefire that seems increasingly unlikely. What began as a shadow war has become a direct, high-stakes confrontation. Civilians on both sides are caught in the crossfire. Each new attack deepens the crisis and hardens resolve. The region teeters on the edge of a much larger conflict. International efforts to mediate have so far failed. The fighting is no longer contained, it threatens to spill across borders. The stakes have never been higher. The world holds its breath, hoping for peace before catastrophe strikes. The next moves by Iran and Israel could shape the future of the entire region. The shadow war is over, the real war has begun. The United States, Israel's closest ally, jumped in as soon as the fighting escalated. America sent military aid and intelligence, reinforcing Israel's defenses. This show of support sent a clear warning to Iran. Attacking Israel means facing the US too. European powers, Britain, France, Germany, called for peace, fearing the conflict could spiral and disrupt global stability. They tried to mediate, but their efforts have been drowned out by the violence. The United Nations held emergency meetings, urging a ceasefire, but neither side is willing to back down. International pressure has failed to stop the fighting. Iran sees US involvement as a direct threat, making compromise even less likely. The world's fear is palpable. A wider war could disrupt oil supplies and trigger a global economic crisis. Diplomats work around the clock, but explosions speak louder than words. The US support for Israel has made the conflict more complex and dangerous. Iran feels cornered, fueling its determination to fight harder. Meanwhile, global leaders scramble to prevent escalation. The conflict is no longer just regional, it's a global crisis in the making. Every new attack risks drawing in more countries. The stakes are higher than ever, with the world economy and security on the line. The international community is desperate for a breakthrough. But for now, the war rages on, with no end in sight. The world watches, hoping for a diplomatic miracle. Iran's fourth wave of attacks stunned the world. Hundreds of ballistic missiles targeted Tel Aviv and Haifa, Israel's economic and port centers. The assault was massive and coordinated, designed to cause chaos and fear. Iran used a mix of fast, evasive missiles to overwhelm Israel's air defenses. The Iron Dome intercepted many, but some missiles broke through. Fires, destruction, and panic swept through both cities. Hospitals filled with the wounded, emergency services struggled to keep up. Civilian areas were hit, apartment buildings, shopping centers, public spaces. Iran's goal: break Israeli morale and force a halt to the war. For millions, it was a night of terror, huddled in bomb shelters, unsure if their homes would survive. The psychological impact was immense. Safety felt like an illusion. The saturation attack changed the mood in Israel. People realized their vulnerability. The war was no longer distant, it was at their doorsteps. The sense of security, once bolstered by technology, was shattered. The attacks marked a turning point, escalating the conflict to new heights. Iran's message was clear: nowhere in Israel is safe. The cost of war is now measured in civilian suffering and fear. The fourth wave has left deep scars on Israeli society. The conflict's intensity shows no sign of easing. Both sides are locked in a cycle of escalation. The world fears what the next wave might bring. Israel wasted no time in responding to Iran's missile barrage. Its military launched precise strikes deep inside Iran, targeting missile sites, command centers, and weapons factories. The goal: cripple Iran's ability to attack again. Israeli jets and drones penetrated Iranian airspace, hitting high-value targets. Strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities sent a powerful message: Israel will do whatever it takes to prevent a nuclear threat. Special bunker-busting bombs were used to reach underground sites. Israel also targeted symbols of Iranian power, including the state TV headquarters in Tehran. These attacks disrupted Iran's propaganda and rattled its leadership. Israel's strategy is preemptive: dismantle Iran's war machine before it can strike again. But each strike fuels more anger and a desire for revenge in Iran. The risk of a wider, uncontrollable war grows with every attack. Israel's actions are meant to protect its people, but they also escalate the conflict. The region edges closer to all-out war. Both sides are now fighting not just for victory, but for survival. The stakes are existential, and restraint is in short supply. The world watches, fearing the next escalation could be catastrophic. The cycle of retaliation shows no sign of ending. For Israelis, daily life is now defined by fear and uncertainty. Air raid sirens send people scrambling for shelter at any hour. Schools and businesses are closed. Streets are eerily empty. Families huddle in safe rooms trying to comfort children as explosions echo outside. The economy has ground to a halt, and routines are shattered. Anxiety and trauma are widespread. Mental health experts warn of a looming crisis. Everyone knows someone affected by the violence. News of destruction and loss is constant, fueling grief and anger. Yet amid the fear, communities show resilience. Neighbors support each other. Volunteers deliver food and medicine. A sense of unity helps people endure, but the emotional toll is immense. The war has left deep scars on the nation's psyche. Life under fire is a relentless test of endurance. The pain and loss are real, and hope for peace feels distant. Israelis cling to determination, but the cost is heavy. The human toll grows with every day the conflict continues. In Tehran, Israeli airstrikes have shattered any sense of safety. Panic grips the city as millions try to flee, jamming roads and straining resources. Gasoline, food, and water are scarce. Families are stranded on highways. The government struggles to manage the chaos as city systems break down. For those left behind, life is a daily struggle. Shops are closed, power is unreliable, and communication is spotty. Fear of the next attack keeps everyone on edge. With no official bomb shelters, people hide in basements, hoping for safety. The government's defiant messages ring hollow amid the destruction. State media calls for bravery, but reality is grim. The exodus has become as dangerous as the airstrikes themselves. Tehran feels like a ghost town, haunted by dread and uncertainty. The war has come home, tearing families apart. Promises of victory mean little when survival is at stake. The people's trust in their leaders is eroding fast. Tehran's citizens are left to cope with fear, hunger, and loss. Palestinians in the West Bank are trapped between warring giants. With no army or air defenses, they can only watch and hope as missiles fly overhead. Debris from intercepted missiles sometimes lands in their towns, adding to their hardship. Increased Israeli security has brought more checkpoints and road closures, crippling daily life. The economy is collapsing, jobs and goods are scarce, movement is restricted, and hospitals are hard to reach. Tensions with Israeli settlers have worsened, sparking violence. The Israeli military's focus on Iran leaves Palestinians feeling unprotected. The war's chaos threatens to spill over, making them even more vulnerable. The suffering of Palestinians is a stark reminder. In war, the powerless pay the highest price. Their voices are unheard, but their pain is real. The West Bank's plight is a tragic part of this widening crisis. The Iran-Israel war has sent shockwaves through the global economy. Oil prices have soared, driven by fears the conflict could close the vital Strait of Hormuz. Higher oil costs mean more expensive gasoline and rising prices for goods worldwide. Businesses face higher energy bills, slowing growth and hiring. Stock markets have plunged as investors flee uncertainty. The world's financial stability is at risk, even though oil is still flowing for now. Every new attack threatens to disrupt supplies and send prices even higher. The economic impact is global. Everyone feels it at the pump and the store. The fear of escalation is driving markets, not just actual events. Retirement savings and investments are losing value. The world economy teeters on a knife's edge. The war is no longer just a military crisis, it's an economic one. Billions could be affected if the conflict widens. The stakes are enormous, and the world is watching every move. A single attack on oil infrastructure could trigger a global recession. The economic fallout could last long after the fighting ends. The gravest fear is that this war could go nuclear. Israel's strikes on Iran's nuclear sites were meant to stop a bomb, but may push Iran to build one faster. If Iran pursues nuclear weapons, a regional arms race could follow, making the Middle East even more volatile. The risk of nuclear war, cities destroyed in moments, has never felt more real. Diplomats are desperate to prevent this nightmare scenario. In the US, leaders are divided. Some want more involvement, others warn against another endless war. America's next move could decide whether the conflict expands or cools down. The cycle of attack and retaliation is pushing both sides toward a point of no return. One mistake could trigger a full-scale regional war, drawing in global powers. The world stands at a crossroads: escalation or diplomacy. De-escalation is urgently needed to avoid catastrophe. Each day without peace makes disaster more likely. The future of the region and the world hangs in the balance. The need for diplomacy has never been greater. Peace is fragile, but it's the only hope left.